our kids. I just see that late.
You should never second guess a king. Where the fuck you from, gang? That boy came from the hood, I think. Sure know how to maneuver, man. That boy came from the truest place of love. Where the fuck you from,
that's where I come from. Yeah, that's where I come from.
Yeah, me and you came from the same damn place
of love. That's where I come from.
I didn't even know the camera was rolling, man. We out here in Milwaukee tonight. I got my boy Stack Tracks Entertainment with me, nigga.
I'm yawning right now.
Don't get me yawning. Niggas just woke up off the gas bag. Fuck all that. I got JMoneyShotIT with me, nigga. We out here finna do this 91.7 radio interview, fam. And everything, controlling the airwaves. Free!
I'm walking across the street, about the jaywalk.
Powered up, had to use my scrim. Two choices, give up or get to the big bus room. Using my gift. I'm tired of working my fingers to the bone of the goddamn overnight shift. I'm tired of working at 9 to 5. It's time to believe in myself. Back in the day, couldn't pay my rent. Back in the
buddy coming down this shit right now. He finna open the door, boy. We heading out, boy. Fleece shit, boy. Fast life, expect everything. You know what I'm saying? Forever loving, evading evil. You know how that shit go for everything. Tee up every day on everything. Twice double check on everything. 91.7, man. I'm here with the gang. JMoneyShotIT, the ugliest cameraman you ever seen in your damn life, man. My boy Stack Tracks Entertainment. Big move, got the green shit on, man. Come say something to the people, man.
Roll one, take it to the goddamn head. It's a hard knock life for the hard head. Roll one, take it to the goddamn head. It's a hard knock life for the hard head. Everybody gotta eat, nigga gotta get fed. It's a hard knock life for the hard head. Roll a blunt, take it to the goddamn head. It's a hard knock.
Oh, it's off.
Let's go, bro.
Look at the fuck. Hold on.
Yeah, they're 17, fam. If this was
Welcome out of my shoes and my skin. Back in the day, couldn't pay my rent. Back in the day, couldn't pay my rent. Back in the day, couldn't pay my rent. Back in the day, nigga ain't had shit. Back in the day, couldn't pay my rent. Back in the day, couldn't pay my rent. Came from the bottom to the top, I did. Made it from the bottom to the top, I did. Back in the day, couldn't pay my rent. Came from the bottom to the top, I did. Whole lot of bread, my bankroll big. Did a whole lot of shit to support my kids. Real nigga don't fold up in. Keep it real, which I won't pretend. Went through a lot of bullshit, I did. Try to walk a mile in my shoes and my skin. Hanging on the edge, finna lose my grip. Powered up, had to.
Hey, I didn't know what was going on. Hello.
In a few minutes, we will be having our interview. We got the homie Trav Pachino in the house.
Yep. And we want to thank you for tuning in to W.M.S.E, broadcast service of MSOE and your Frontier radio station. For those of you who are listening for the first time tonight because of Trav Pachino, I just want to let y'all know that his dad is in the building.
Yes, indeed.
I've never had anyone's dad come through, but we're all excited because we know he supports.
I'm a family-oriented person, man. You know what I'm saying? My old man always wanted to do this, you feel me? I had to let him shine too.
Absolutely.
I also want to say that this has been a hip-hop radio show since the 90s, so maybe Dad knew about it. Maybe he already knew about it, but a lot of people actually come up to me and they're like, hey, we've been listening to this show since the 90s. Of course, I wasn't hosting it. Marty wasn't hosting it, but it's been here since the 90s on W.M.S.E, so it's a big deal for Milwaukee's longest-running independent and old-school hip-hop radio show.
Nice. So, I'll let the man introduce himself.
Oh, you know who it is already, man. Me and Marty go back way before the DJ stuff. You already know who it is. Fast life, expect everything. You know what I'm saying? Trav Pachino, Flea, OG Flea. You know who it is.
Flea, thanks for coming by.
Yes, sir. I'm in here with my buddy Stack Track. You know what I'm saying? Well, his moniker is Stack Tracks Entertainment. You know what I'm saying? And I'm in here with my buddy, you know what I'm saying, JMoney, the cameraman who shot you. Yeah,
so JMoney, didn't you just shoot a few of his videos actually?
Yeah, he got me out.
Was that Mansion?
He shot Mansion. He shot Hard Heads. He shot Balance. This man shot Intelligent. Fam, this man shot my whole career, fam.
Okay, I was gonna say when you said JMoney initially, I'm like, man, that name sounds so familiar. Where have I heard it? And then, I probably
flesh right there. Like I call him the coolest cameraman. He ugly, but you know the coolest cameraman you know on everything. He'd be right with you. You know what I'm saying?
All right. So I've definitely seen the name before. So on all of your videos, almost. That's awesome.
Yes,
I like
it
that
is,
y'all
man.
have that connection.
Yeah, this my boy before cameras and all that. Just like you, my boy before music on everything.
It's true. Yeah, we did know each other before I started making music.
Hey, this boy Marty came a long way. Like, and I gotta give him his props, fam. Like,
Thank
it's coming
you.
from me, fam.
Yeah.
I do this for real, fam. So I gotta give Marty his stamp. Like, if he ain't got it before, he got his stamp now.
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
All right. So you want to tell me a little bit about your background and your upbringing, about Lil Flea growing up?
Ooh, Lil Flea growing up, that was crazy, man. I didn't know we was finna get off into this. Hold
Oh
on.
yeah,
That's
we going deep right away.
elaborate story, man. Hold on. Growing up, I'm from Chicago. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Born in the gardens. You know what I'm saying? Really Roseland, but from the gardens. You know what I'm saying? I came to Minnesota. You know what I'm saying? As a young kid. You know what I'm saying? Then I moved to Wisconsin in my teens. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I just been basically It's been crazy, man. I always been in music though through that whole time. You know what I'm saying? I'm a Midwest baby. You know what I'm saying? A Midwest baby.
Right. So, are there particular reasons that you moved around a lot, or just family had to move for jobs and whatnot? Or
I mean, I'd rather not go into that right now.
Okay, for sure.
I like to preach, you know what I'm saying, positivity these days, but it was a whole lot of situations that caused me to move around. You know what I'm saying? So I had to, you know what I'm saying, make a good choice. You know what I'm saying, for the future.
Okay. All right, for sure. I ain't gonna pressure you into none of that.
I have a question though. Maybe you were too young, but moving from Chicago, to Minnesota, to Wisconsin, you were already into music at that point in time.
Yes.
What were the biggest differences that you noticed, or maybe similarities between the music scenes in each different one?
Basically, the Midwest, it was all like about Twister. You know what I'm saying? Who else? My old man could tell you. You know what I'm saying? Who else? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I never really felt I never really felt a different vibe by going up north, you know what I'm saying? It's all the Midwest, like Iowa, you know what I'm saying? Minnesota, you know what I'm saying? Illinois, you know what I'm saying? It's all one region.
Yeah, but they was all listening to like the same thing,
it wasn't really nothing too out of the ordinary.
Yeah, it was all kind of the same vibe
I grew
throughout.
up rocking with Jay-Z though, you know what I'm saying? He from New York. I grew up rocking with Jay, Ludacris, you know what I'm saying? Michael Jackson, come on, like all type of stuff.
So what was it like growing up in Chicago, or were you still pretty young when you?
Nah, it was you know what I'm saying? It was Chicago ain't really what everybody think it is. It is what you make it. Don't get me wrong. You could be in all that gang banging and all that stuff, but it's nice parts to it too. But you know what I'm saying? I had it rough on everything. My family had it rough. You know what I'm saying? We wasn't rich or nothing like that. So
right.
It was like we had to go through what everybody else had to go through. You know what I'm saying? I had to move around. You know what I'm saying? You know how that story go. I could
Life
get
happens.
into it, but that's ours. You know what I'm saying? Listen to this in Grasshopper is what I'm trying to tell you. 10/4, October the 4th, Grasshopper's dropping. I'm gonna tell you all about it in that.
Oh yeah, we'll get into that a little later. We'll dive into that later.
Yes, sir.
So how long have you been creating? I know you do more than just rap now, because now you're making beats. You know what I'm saying? You're producing your own work now.
It's been a good 10 of them, bro. Like a good 10 years.
Okay.
But like I say, I'm not doing it trying to get rich enough. I mean, I would like to get paid now, but you know what I'm saying? I just been grinding for like a decade, fam. Just doing what I love. You feel me?
Okay. What gave you that urge?
Man, it's like I look at music like a place to vent, fam. You know, you don't always get heard in the right way. You know what I'm saying? When you talking to people and people fake like they feel you and all that. You know what I'm saying? So I rather talk to the microphone. You know what I'm saying? Somebody who can't judge me. You feel me? Sound funny, but at the same time though, it's a venting process, fam. Ventilation.
I feel that. So outside of hip hop, who would you say are some of your musical influences? I like to ask people that because everybody, when I ask about hip hop, they'll give you the usual Tupac, Biggie, you know.
I love Michael, fam. I said that I love Michael. That's like that's my number one artist on everything. Michael Jackson, you know what I'm saying? Who else? It's so many people I can name right now, but I'm gonna put Mike at the top of the list on everything. Outside of hip hop, Mike.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nobody else that you can think of off the top of the head, just Mike?
These days, Robin Thicke, he go crazy. Who else? You know, I like all types of music. You feel me? Hold on, let me think real quick. Hold on. Let me think real quick, cause there's so many coming to my head right now.
I wish we could insert the Jeopardy.
The Isley Brothers on everything.
Oh,
Earth, Wind and Fire on everything. Old school stuff like that.
Okay, I feel that. The 608.
608.
What's it like living out in the 608?
Ooh, fam.
I ain't gonna say where because I ain't trying to expose
fam.
that. But
oh no, the Ville, fam. We putting the Ville on the map. You know what I'm
right.
saying? Janesville, Wisconsin. Come on, fam. It wouldn't even be nothing if we wasn't out there. To be honest with you, fam, it is kind of dry, whatever, compared to a city, fam. Especially living in the city and then, you know what I'm saying, coming to a town like a country town with cows. Come on, fam, cheese and all that. Come on, fam.
Cheese and
Come
all
on,
that.
fam. I be in the woods trying to find my peace. You feel me? Like I really be in nature, fam, trying to get to know myself better, fam, with all this stuff going on. You feel me?
Oh, yeah.
It's a major transition if you want to know. Yeah.
For those of you listening that just heard Trav say that he really be in nature,
I really do.
He really be in nature.
Fam,
This
I
man
find
in the
peace,
winter
bro.
time.
I find peace, bro. I learned a lot about myself this last summer, fam. Just by, you know what I'm saying, being out there cooling, bro. For real.
This man in the winter time, if you check any of his social medias, dude will be out there when it's snowing, -20
Bro,
degrees. Dude got
no
his shirt
on.
off.
No shirt
Dude
on.
walking
You feel me?
around
I'm
with
out there,
no
fam,
shirt.
Mind over matter, fam. I'm practicing these principles I be talking about.
I remember seeing that the first time being like, this man is crazy. And then he did it for a week. And I'm like, oh, yeah, he's really crazy.
For real, though. Can you
then-
endure the pain? Can you endure the rain?
Exactly.
You know where I'm coming from?
But then I started thinking about that when you did the mind over matter, and then you really started getting in depth with that, which I really like that you do that on social media, that you kind of make people think.
To show people, fam, it's not, didn't nobody tell me I had to be a trap, you know what I'm saying, a trap boy. You feel me? Ain't nobody tell me I had to be that, fam. I chose to do that, fam, on everything, and I don't want to keep on, you know what I'm saying, portraying that, fam. I know what I did, I know how I live, you feel me? So it's like, why not show the kids something better, you feel me?
Right.
Show the kids something better, bro. I know I'm gonna check my bag anyway, so I, you know what I'm saying, I might well just show them something good, you feel me?
I know you
down the wrong path a lot of times, bro. Let's go down the right one.
Flea is truly for the kids. He's taking the kids fishing and whatnot.
Hey, all that. Hey, funny story though, fam. A fish hook got stuck in my daughter. It got stuck in my daughter backsides. You know what I'm saying? Her little penny. She tried to cast her little reel out, fam, and caught herself for the fish. On everything. It happens, fam.
I bet she was probably worried for a minute.
She was crying like, oh, get it out. Hold on, don't cut it. Don't cut it. You know how it go. Yeah, man.
All right, so what would you say the music scene is like out there in Janesville?
Oh, the music scene is, man, like I say, it wouldn't be a lot of things living without us, fam. The music scene dead, fam. It's dead. Gravesite and everything.
That's why I like that the 608 has people like yourself. They got Lake. They got T9.
Oh, my boy. Hold on. See, no, my boy, Lake, that's a whole different subject. I can't even count him as a 6080 no more. My man be out here in the 414 making noise. Lake, where you at, boy? I love you when you hear this, boy. I love you. On everything.
I remember.
Rocking, boy, that's my boy. On everything.
I remember having that conversation with Lake. He was saying like, "Oh, I just want to move out to Milwaukee. I'm tired of the 608.
I was sad.
I'm tired
What
of
you
the
mean?
drive."
You remember the conversation? I probably was right there next to him when you was talking to him on the phone. I'm like, oh, you leaving, bro?
And we were talking, and I told him because I had a spare bedroom at the time, and I'm like, bro, I mean, it's literally sitting there empty.
Hey.
I mean, you could just come move in if you really wanted to. And this man literally, like 2-3 weeks later, I found somebody to sublease my place. I'll be there next month.
Bro, it was meant to be. Let me tell you why I met Lake at, fam. We used to work at this place called Generac, fam, in Whitewater, Wisconsin.
Okay.
Boy, at a factory, boy, I met this man. He used to call me Offset. Like, Offset. Every time you see me, he Offset. Oh, man, quit calling me that, bro. You know, I'm cool, fam. On everything. I'm like, don't call me that, bro. On everything. But you seem like a cool dude. He be, you know what I'm saying, puffing and all that. He like, yeah, this and that. I do music. And, you know what I'm saying? We should link up after work. Linked up with him after work one day, and it was history to make it, man. That's been my bro like ever since, man. For real though, like we done shows, fam. We done did everything, fam. I love Lake, man. Young Puddle.
Oh yeah, Lake is the homie
Puddle.
for sure. Young Puddle.
That's my guy.
That's funny, man. Yeah, Lake's a good dude, but so
hold on, his ass grew that much. He grew that mustache out on everything.
Yeah, he did. Oh,
and that hair out, boy.
Well, actually,
he just cut it.
He just not the hair. He'll never cut the hair.
No, I'm talking about the stash, boy.
Yeah.
He trimmed it, boy. The biker man.
He had to shave it all off.
He trimmed it. Yeah, my bad. Though, no swearing on air, fam. I won't do that.
Oh,
ooh, we're telling.
No swearing on air. I promise.
So you just actually you kind of helped me segue into my next question. You just taught me how you met Lake was through Generac. How did you meet the rest of the cronies? Was that through Lake?
I met them through Lake. It was like a mutual friendship after that. Lake was like, yeah, I know these guys' name, you know what I'm saying? The crony gang and this and that. We was in New York when he was telling me about them, though. I'm like, what? You know, the cronies, this and that, what's going on with that? You know what I'm saying? He told me that he trusted them, and they was, you know what I'm saying, people who was real high energy, you know what I'm saying, and was doing music. I ended up meeting them, and then we all linked up